turns out it was a sailboat in distress, and they had dropped their sails, wrapped them up, battened everything down. They were riding out the storm. I require all of my executives to make one mistake a day, because if you're not making a mistake, you're not learning. I am of the opinion that Oswald did not fire any shots, that he was completely set up, and that there were multiple shooters. Within 6 or 7 years, he had 3 Jamaican food restaurants.
Wow.
And he did it because he didn't let anything stand in his way.
It's kind of a big deal.
Hello, beautifully broken people. Welcome back to Season 2. It's Alejandro Larrazabal here, welcoming all of you. We have a very special guest opening us up, kicking off the second season, the one, the only, Mr. David Scott. How are you doing, sir?
I'm well. Good morning. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being here now. Why don't you tell the dais, by the way, folks, he is an attorney, family law and appellate. The attorneys can't say expertise, but that is the focus of what he does.
That's what I do.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay, so I'm originally from California. I grew up in San Diego.
Yep.
I left San Diego when I was about 20 years old, and I joined the United States Coast Guard. And I was gone for 4 years. I was on a patrol boat in the North Atlantic, doing law enforcement, search and rescue.
Right.
And then I went back to California to go to college on the GI Bill. I graduated from UC Berkeley, and then I came to Florida to go to law school at the University of Miami.
What a championship game the Hurricanes had. It didn't go our way, though, right? But that's okay.
No, not quite.
That is okay. Now, you are a fanatic of constitutional law. Why did you switch over to do family law? But before you answer that, let's give a shout out and a thanks to our sponsors. Make sure you stay tuned because David is going to answer that question. This episode of the Kind of a Big Deal podcast is sponsored by the Miramar Pembroke Pines Chamber of Commerce, the Weston Florida Chamber of Commerce, and Pembroke Park West Park Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber brings innovation and progress to the community by being a catalyst for business growth.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so there is no better time for you to focus on your overall wellness. Your mental health matters every single day of the year. Reach out, ask questions, and see what treatment options are available to you.
Petion Law Firm, personal injury attorneys. Golden Trust Insurance. And R&D Systems Group. All right, beautifully broken people, we are back. Remember the question. If you don't, David Scott is a lover of constitutional law. You got to be very smart, a lot smarter than me. And he's now going to let us know why he switched from constitutional law over to family law.
Okay, so when I graduated from law school, I was originally a maritime lawyer. Maritime lawyers, it's all about boats and oceans and things like that, and it's all federal law.
Yeah.
When I was in college, I took a constitutional law course taught to the undergraduate by the law school professors, and I thought it was fascinating.
Yeah.
Like the history and how the United States Supreme Court shapes the laws and interprets the laws and interprets the Constitution, all the various different ways to look at the Constitution. Is it a living, breathing document, or is it a piece of paper that says what it says? Yeah. This fascinated me, so to this day, I am a fan and a scholar of constitutional law. But I practice in family law because that's what I really enjoy doing.
But you can apply some of the constitutional principles to family law, you know, standing in the shoes of the parents, due process, those kinds of things.
Absolutely. Constitutional due process of law, there is an opportunity to be heard, comes up a lot. Your right to a relationship with your child is a constitutionally protected right. The presumption of legitimacy of a child born into a marriage, regardless of who's the father, is a constitutional issue.
Okay.
So yes, there's a lot of interplay.
Yes.
But it's mainly Florida state family law that's applied.
Oh man, that sounds fun. Before I want to dig in a little bit more, but I want to go back into your background because you got into the Coast Guard. Was it through construction or the construction aspect of it? Give me a little bit background about that because I want to explore that a little bit.
So I'm the only one in my family who ever went to college.
Yeah.
I grew up with a single mom. Yeah, we were very poor. And after high school, I went into construction and earned a living for a few years doing that. A friend of mine had joined the Coast Guard.
Okay.
And I thought that was a great idea. So I joined the Coast Guard. I'll tell you, it's the best thing I ever did in my life. It shaped me as a man, as a young man, coming up. And it made me feel like I was part of something bigger than myself. It was the best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
I still volunteer in the Coast Guard Auxiliary as a civilian volunteer.
Wow, do you really? And where were you stationed? You said you went to the North Atlantic.
Yeah. So out of basic training, I went to Portland, Maine.
Oof.
And I was on a 95-foot patrol boat with a crew of 13. And we patrolled the North Atlantic and primarily law enforcement.
Yeah.
Drugs, fisheries, things like that, and search and rescue.
Oh, the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were like literally at the edge of the United States, up in Portland, Maine. How far out would you patrol? So those waters aren't easy waters either.
No, it's some of the roughest waters. And I'd never been on a boat before I joined the Coast Guard. Okay.
You buried the lead. Okay, so you'd never been on a boat.
Never been on a boat. And I'd never seen snow. So you can imagine the shock. But this particular boat had an endurance of about 300 or 400 miles on average, and we could stay out for about a week at a time without having to come back in and refuel.
Oh, nice. Okay. So what was that experience like? You have no idea what you're getting into.
None. It was great. I remember early on, I think it was the first week we were out on patrol, and it wasn't rough, but it was rough enough that the whitecaps on the waves would come and go, and you see this whole sea of whitecaps coming and go, and I'm up on the bridge, and I noticed that there's a whitecap out there that's not going, right? It's just staying. And I said to the person on the bridge, I said, "What is that there?" Turns out it was a sailboat in distress, and they had dropped their sails, wrapped them up, battened everything down. They were riding out the storm. So we went over there and asked them did they need help, and they said that they were fine. But after that, the skipper says to me, he says, "From now on, if we're on search and rescue, you're on the bridge, Scott." That made me feel like I had actually done something really important. Even though it wasn't much, I just noticed something. But it was really great.
It was important to the people who were out there trying to ride out the storm. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your childhood. You were born poor. You were raised poor. Single mother. Tell me, do you have brothers, sisters?
I have a younger sister.
Okay. Let's explore that. Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. So, my mother was 19 years old when I was born.
Okay.
Right. And so was my father.
Yeah.
And my father was actually a drummer in a band in the Los Angeles scene.
How
in the 60s.
Cool is that?
Yeah. But when I was born, of course, he had to give all that up and go to work.
Sure.
So that marriage didn't last long. About 6 or 7 years old, they got divorced, and so we were on our own.
Yeah.
My mom had no formal training or anything, so it was very difficult.
Sure.
We were on welfare. There were times when we lived in shelters, halfway houses from the time. But my mom did the best she could.
Yeah.
No one ever really expected much, from me.
Sure.
But I was one of the kids that got I got a 1390 on the SAT, but I almost failed out of high school. Because I'm too busy, screwing around with my friends and all that stuff. So I was a little bit wayward.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, which is why the Coast Guard helped me out so much.
That's right.
Yeah.
So jumping around various houses while you're young, that shapes you, no? Shapes the way you view life.
Yeah, I'm still sitting therapy.
Well, so am I. It's one of those things. People, we work out our bodies, but we neglect our mind.
Yeah, I'll tell you though, I don't forget where I'm from.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, even today, I deal with people.
Yep.
I don't mean to jump ahead, but
let's do it.
I deal with people sometimes that are in financial difficulties, and I don't forget where I'm from. I try to stay humble.
Yep.
I will tell you, I do think I'm an excellent lawyer. My contemporaries will tell me that, but I try to stay humble.
Absolutely. Your childhood, the fact that you were the first one to go to college, you jumped into the Coast Guard. It seems that you feel very comfortable jumping into the unknown or things that you're going to be the first one to do.
Yeah, I think so.
And so are you the first one to have to run a business in your family?
I had an uncle that ran a business.
Yeah.
My father tried over the years, to develop certain businesses. He was successful at some points, and life steps in, things didn't work out.
What did you learn from his failures?
I'm glad you asked me.
Yeah.
Never quit.
Yeah.
Never quit.
Keep going.
Every failure is a learning experience.
Absolutely.
I have this saying now. You remember Lee Iacocca, the pressure,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
that bailed out the Chrysler Corporation.
That's right.
He said, I require all of my executives to make one mistake a day.
Yes.
Because if you're not making a mistake, you're not learning.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just don't tell my clients.
That's right. Yeah. And how do you apply that to running your own law firm?
Every once in a while, something comes up that I haven't experienced.
Absolutely. Now, there's two aspects to running a law firm. You got the human side, and then you have obviously the business side.
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur, which is the easiest one for you?
Right. That's an easy question. So for me, the practice of law is easy.
Yes.
Yeah, I enjoyed. I look at it from an academic point of view, and also through a lens of empathy with my clients. But that's not all there is to it.
Right.
There's also the business side.
Absolutely.
And I will tell you, I am not fashion myself a good businessman. But I have learned that the key to compensate for that is to have good people around you.
Of course.
Yeah. So I have two paralegals that work for me.
Okay. Give them a shout out.
Gwen and Amalia.
Okay. Very good. There you go. So
I think
Gwen,
Amalia's here in the
Amalia.
studio somewhere.
Amalia, she's somewhere in here. So wherever you are, Amalia, where are you? She's back there.
There she is.
She's over there. Hopefully we'll flip a camera and, we could say hello to her.
Right. So Amalia is brilliant. She graduated valedictorian in her class in college. And she came to work for me at my previous law firm before I opened this law firm 6 years ago. And we brought her in on a very limited basis. And she quickly mastered that and soaked up everything I taught her. And she now is a top-notch paralegal. She handles all of my marketing, social media. She deals with my clients hand to hand, one-on-one, prepares all the documents, does everything. She's outstanding. I could not run the law firm without her.
Right.
So on the business side, all I do, I send out bills, and then I set things up for auto pay. Amalia handles the rest of it.
Yeah.
And then I have Gwen.
Yes.
Gwen is my other paralegal, and they both work remotely, which is good because I believe in this family work-life balance.
Right.
Gwen, she'll be up at 9 o'clock at night, laying in bed, going through my email. Fiercely loyal. They all put 100% of it. And I will, again, as a shout out, Amalia plans on attending law school this fall.
Okay. Very good.
And she wants to practice in family law. I hope she'll come to work for me and I can make her a partner someday.
There you go. That's right. Grow from within. I love that. Yeah. It sounds like the success. It's not just you. It's the people around you.
I would not be able to do this alone.
Now, when you see your clients, do you see yourself as a child?
Sometimes.
Do you see your mom?
Yeah.
And how does that shape your communication, your empathy towards them?
Yeah. So when I'm dealing with women, particularly single moms,
sure,
or even soon to be single moms,
sure,
right? This is not easy.
Absolutely,
especially today.
Yeah.
It's hard today for different reasons than it was hard 30, 40 years ago.
Right. Right.
In my case, because I'm not old. Yeah. There are opportunities that are available to women that weren't available to them back then.
That's true.
But it is hard to take advantage of those opportunities when you're trying to raise kids.
Right.
On your own. Right.
It's not easy.
It's not. So yeah, I do oftentimes, again, like I told you, I don't forget where I'm from.
Right.
And my approach to dealing with my clients is from an empathy standpoint. Because when my clients come to me, they come to me with anxiety.
Sure.
And they have a lot of issues. And my approach, which surprisingly, I mean, I have taken over cases from clients who had previous lawyers who come to me.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised by what they don't know. Right.
Yeah.
I alleviate that anxiety by educating them on the law as it applies to the facts of their case.
Sure.
So that they don't have questions. And if you don't have questions, you're not suffering from anxiety.
Right.
For instance, the law changed recently, a couple of years ago. Equal time sharing is now legally presumed to be in the best interest of children.
Okay.
It's a legal presumption.
Yeah.
Right. I've had clients come to me from previous lawyers that don't know that.
Wow.
Or that alimony is now an easy standard. 35% of the difference in your net incomes. That's it.
Okay.
No more permanent alimony. It's been abolished.
Oh, good. Because it was usually the men that were getting stuck with it.
My clients know these things from the beginning.
Yeah.
And the first time I speak with them, they leave my initial consultation having no questions. And if you read my reviews on Google, they talk about that.
Right.
Well, like the guy taught me everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's important because I have to work as a team with my client.
Right.
All right.
Yes.
I know the law. They know the facts.
Yes.
If I teach them the law and teach them the facts, then we're both a team. And it's not just me running around to court
Right.
and drafting things and then wondering what the hell's going on.
That's right. Exactly. And then calling you, nobody's telling me anything.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you could look back at your younger self living in those homes with your mom, what would you tell them? That should have been the one that we go to break, give you time to think about that one. Yeah.
Yeah. You're trying to make me cry?
I cry every day. We're good. Men do cry.
Come on. Don't give me your man card. So what would I tell my younger self?
Yeah.
I would tell my younger self, don't believe anybody who tells you that you're not smart. Well, you can do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just don't do it, because for the longest time, I believed that.
Yep.
Right. But the one thing that saved me, kept coming back to me over and over and over, was my kindergarten teacher.
Okay.
Wrote a letter to my first grade teacher, gave it to my mom, and he said, give this to your first grade teacher because Dave is a special kid. I don't know what it said.
Yeah.
But I was special, at least according to one person in the world.
Right.
Right. And that sparked something in me.
Yeah.
So, when I was nearing the end of my tour in the Coast Guard, I said, I'm going to apply for college. And all my guys in the Coast Guard are like, what do you want to do that for? Why don't you
Great advice.
Why don't you stay in for 20 years and retire?
Right.
I'm like, well, I'd love to do that. I love the Coast Guard, but don't get me wrong. I think I can do better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I did.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Never believe negative thought. Always believe you can do anything if you work hard enough. And this is what I instill in my 13-year-old son. My daughter, she's 23 now. She's on her way to law school too.
Yeah.
She did great.
Mm-hmm.
My son, I see in him some of the characteristics that I had when I was a kid. So I'm constantly reinforcing it.
Right.
You are smart. You're a part of me. You can do anything. Don't ever quit, and don't ever believe anybody.
Absolutely. The doubters.
So thank you for that question.
No, absolutely. This is what we're here. I told you this is going to be chill. We're there's always a script and we throw it out. You went to UC Berkeley.
Yeah.
What was that experience like? Because you Coast Guard, it's very disciplined, and now you're going back to the LA scene, or Berkeley. Yeah, Berkeley's up. Yeah, San Francisco scene. So, did you lose any of that discipline? Or were you able to continue that? Hey, that mindset. I'm here. I'm not here to party. I'm here. Well, obviously there is party, but I'm here to get the job done because I have some plan greater than this.
Yeah. Once you're a Coast Guardman, you're always a Coast Guardsman. You never lose that discipline.
Right.
Like there is no late in my work. I mean, I got here a half an hour early and I'm 5 minutes away. That's just my mindset.
Yeah.
I mean, to this day, as soon as I get up
in
the morning, the first thing I do is I make my bed and I make it perfectly every day because it's a mindset.
Sure.
And it starts your day off.
Yeah.
Feeling like you've accomplished something. So yeah, when I got to Berkeley, I picked morning classes.
Okay.
Most college students don't want morning classes.
They want the afternoon.
They want afternoon classes. They can sleep in and sleep off the party.
Right.
It wasn't me.
Yeah.
I was there to get through.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what I was going to do. Yeah. When I got there after college, until I took that constitutional law course, then I decided to go to law school.
Okay.
But I took advantage of it. I mean, I took a Russian history class with a bunch of people who were like ultimately went on to become PhDs in Russian history, and I don't know why, but it was fascinating. I learned a lot. This was at a time though when Berkeley was a very liberal school, but it was back then it was still 60s type liberal. It was tolerant.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Diversity of opinions.
Mm-hmm.
It was fine. I mean, there's a square called Sproul Plaza where they call it a free speech zone. Yeah. Anybody can say anything they want there and be free from, you can debate. Yeah. But you're free from attack. You go there now and say something that's unpopular, and you're going to walk away.
I was going to say, you're going to get kicked out. Yeah. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett, he's dead now, but Warren Buffett's a longtime vice chair, is very well involved at Berkeley. He donated a lot of money in the constructions of the buildings, but that might have been after you graduated, since they didn't make their money till a little bit later on. Yeah. Why'd you choose UM to go to law school?
Maritime law.
Ah.
South Florida is the place to be.
Yeah.
Along with Louisiana and Houston. Yeah. For maritime law, because of all the cruise ships and the cargo ships.
Right.
That's all governed by maritime law.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And maritime law is very funny. I will tell you, it goes all the way back to the Kings and Queens bench of England.
Yeah.
So it is not uncommon for, and I've done it before, to be sitting in front of a state judge.
Yeah.
And to cite the
Jones Act?
1820 case from the King's Bench of England and tell the state judge that it's binding.
Right, yeah.
Right. Or like you said, or the Jones Act.
Yeah.
Of course, the Jones Act goes all the way back to 1789.
That's right.
Yeah, there's a lot of history in maritime.
Yeah. Yeah, we call those oldies but goodies, you know, still
only
good
did that for a
precedent.
few years.
Yeah.
And I decided I want to do something different.
Well, you did defense. For
Maritime insurance
maritime
defense,
insurance defense, yeah. So I did defense, and I realized very quickly that no one in defense is happy.
Yeah.
The billables, it's like you're just a zombie. And I was like, you know, thank you, but gotta
But
go.
I was trained.
Yeah.
I'll add this. I was trained by one of the top maritime law firms, you know, in the state, easily, old school lawyers, who taught me old school principles.
Oh, good.
And I apply those principles today.
Yeah.
In a world where we have a lot of young lawyers coming out of law school,
I know.
don't have that.
Right.
And it makes a difference because the judges see that and they form an opinion of you.
Yep.
And I have a hard-earned, good, excellent reputation with my judges and my peers as being a collegial, good lawyer, respectful.
Yeah.
And that goes a long way in representing my clients. When I walk into a courtroom, I enjoy that reputation.
Yeah.
The judge is looking at me saying, okay, Mr. Scott's here. This is going to be a good hearing, right? We're not going to have to see arguing and yelling. You know, we're going to see good law.
Yeah.
And that this helps me.
Yeah.
Not always, but it helps me get good rulings for my clients.
It's your
Which is
reputation.
ultimately what I'm looking for.
Absolutely. Yeah, your reputation is very important. It'll follow you wherever you go. It's like a shadow.
It's the most important. I tell this to young lawyers all the time.
Yeah.
Like, your reputation is everything. Never, ever do anything to sacrifice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when did you make the switch from maritime defense over to family law?
So I left maritime defense, working for a firm, started my own little firm for a while.
Okay.
It was a little experiment. I just kind of did whatever came in the door.
Sure.
You know, started a young lawyer. You know, I think my daughter was 2 or 3 at the time.
Wow.
And then I would say about 14 years ago, I met a former judge who had a family law practice. And I went to work for her and did ever since.
And everything, you know, the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah.
There's no coincidences, right? It's like everything is ordained to happen for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, family's a little bit different from civil law too.
Yeah.
There's no juries.
No. Bench
Right.
trials.
It's a judge.
Yeah.
And for good reason. You don't want a jury deciding, you know, the fate of your family, right? So it's a little bit easier in that respect.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, I mean, look, you go before juries.
Right.
So
Yes.
the way you look, what you're wearing,
You're
the watch that you're wearing,
You're being judged.
yeah, you're being judged by 12 people.
Right.
You know, so you are everything in that respect.
Right.
Right. I don't have to worry about that. You know, because the judge is looking at the family,
Mm-hmm.
litigants, the children.
Yep.
All right. So it's
That's
not
the interest
all
of the
about
child.
me. I just present
Right.
the case and I let the judge decide.
That's right. For the young entrepreneurs, maybe not who don't want to get into law, from all your time experiences, what's the one? Give them something that you think, hey, grab onto this. If there's nothing else that you take from this podcast, grab onto this.
Yeah. So, okay.
Mhm.
There came a time
Yeah.
6 years ago when I had to decide, do I want to open up
Mhm.
my own business?
Okay.
Right. And up until then, I've been working, you know, for a salary.
Okay.
Right. And it was scary.
Sure.
Where are my clients going to come from?
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I had a friend of mine
Yeah.
that I went to law school with who walked right out of law school, opened up his own law firm, right? Took cases for free to get experience. And he became a very successful lawyer up in Palm Beach. And he told me, he says, Dave, I went out to lunch with him one day.
Yeah.
And he says, go back in there and tell him right now you're leaving. The clients will come.
Wow.
I'm so, really? Okay. Are you going to pay my bills between now and then?
Right.
Yeah. But a couple weeks later, I did just that.
Yeah.
I walked out and about 50 clients came with me.
Wow.
And then about another 20 or 30 called me and said, hey, I heard you left the firm. Will you take me with you?
Oh my goodness.
Why? Because they loved me.
That's right.
All right. So, and I reduced my hourly rate to those clients.
Yeah.
Right. Just, you know, so I could have business.
Mm-hmm.
And from those clients, they referred their friends.
Yeah.
And now I've got other lawyers referring me cases.
Oh my goodness. How cool is that?
So the takeaway is
yeah.
do it.
Yes.
If you're thinking about starting a business and you're worried how it's going to work out, how are you going to pay the bills, do it.
Yep.
Because you don't want to be 6 years later. I would not want to be sitting here today,
Right.
looking back 6 years and saying, "Gosh, I wish I'd have done that."
Absolutely. Yeah. It's not, was it I think it was Jeff Bezos when asked about, well, why did you create Amazon? He was working up in the financial district up in New York. He said, when I'm 80, I need to be able to look back at my life and not regret anything.
Yeah.
And if I regret it, that's not good. I should have done it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not normally a person who takes risks.
Right.
It's just not in my nature.
Sure.
So this was a huge step for me to do.
Yeah.
And, I'm so glad I did it.
Right.
Again, Amalia came to work with me right away, from the get-go.
Yeah.
And came in a little bit later.
Right.
And it was the best thing that I could have done. Now I have this freedom.
Right.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you, if my afternoon calendar is clear and I've been working hard and I'm getting everything done, I'm going to take the day off.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
You've earned it. Yeah.
It's a wonderful thing.
Absolutely. You also have an interest in theology. You're studying theology right now.
I am not right at the moment.
Right.
Right. So I've always had an interest in theology.
Yeah.
I was driving down 595 at one point, and I heard a radio advertisement for Trinity College master's degree in theology.
Yeah.
And I was like, that sounds good. And I looked to my left, and on the other side of the street, there was Trinity College.
Wow.
State Road 84.
How
I
funny.
said, okay, that's a sign. So I went over to them and I talked to them, and they waived the GRE because I had a good grade point average.
Okay.
Admitted me, and I started on my own, paying for my own.
Yeah.
So I don't have a particular time within which I have to complete the program.
Yeah.
So I started off with that. I took a class on Christian worship.
Okay. Yeah.
Started off with that.
Sure. Yeah.
And then basic theology.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten anywhere near finishing it. One day before I'm 80 years old, I hope to have a master's degree in theology because it interests me.
Absolutely.
And God comes to people through various means.
Big time.
Some people are on the band in church, and other people are evangelists. And I see it through the academic, theological view.
Well, it's one of those things that, and in theology, you learn, which somebody you do not study in undergrad in philosophy classes, which is the Apostle Paul, which is a crime, because if you read his epistles and his letters, it should absolutely be studied right up there with Plato, Socrates, and all those.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And those teachings, it's very much get up and go. Get up and go, carry your cross, get up and go, which is essentially what you did. You were born, the situation you were born in, you got up and you went. You got up, you went, you went to the Coast Guard, you went to Berkeley, you went to law school. Failure is just a part of life. You deal with it and you move on, and then that's when you're studying in theology. There's a core there, no? So how has your faith defined you or helped you through these tough times?
There have been times in my life when it was hard.
Sure. Yeah.
It was hard. And yeah, I became a Christian many years ago, primarily because my father and my stepmother became Christians many years ago.
Okay.
And they were always there for me and always nudging me. And the one thing I couldn't get over is trying to understand their faith.
Sure.
I just looked at them and I said, how can you have such faith?
Right.
And then when life got hard, I leaned on them.
Absolutely.
Sometimes people ask me, they say, what kind of Christian are you?
Yeah.
And I says, well, frankly, not a very good one. If you judge by the standard my father sets, not a very good one.
I don't think any of us are. It's grace is given freely. You don't earn it. So what's your relationship with your father today?
Oh, we're very close.
Really?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that experience.
Yeah. So my father and my stepmother live in Tennessee.
Okay.
I go up there as often as I can to get my son up there. My son absolutely adores my father. My father is he's a comedian. Everything out of his mouth is, you got to wonder, is he serious? He's just that funny.
Yeah.
He's been that way all my life. Like, I remember when he told me, my sister, when we were little, that there was a very rare fruit that's only grown in certain areas of the world. It's called a goofus berry. And my whole life, not my whole life, but to this day, I'm still looking for this Goofusberry.
That's
But I told my kid about it when
Yeah.
he was little, and now he understands it's a joke. But my father is a very devout man. He's retired. He volunteers as Santa Claus every year.
Oh.
And he attends church regularly. He's involved in the community.
Yeah.
He's a rock solid pillar of how a man should live his life.
And what was that coming together with your experience as a child? He leaves and everything, or maybe he's not around.
leave.
Okay. So talk to me about that.
Yeah,
He was still there then.
And thank you for asking.
Yeah.
So we were living in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay.
And I was about 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And my father went to work one day. He came home to an empty house.
Oh.
Yeah. And this was at a time
Yeah.
when the courts always gave custody to the mothers.
Yeah.
So my mother packed us up and moved to San Diego, 500 miles away. And that was it.
No.
And my father did the best he could all through the years. There came a time when my mother's life crashed. Sure. I was about 17. And my father had to move down, step in, and take care of my sister and I.
Wow.
Yeah. And that lasted till I was 19.
Sure.
And my father said, "Son, you got to go." He packed me up, drove me down to a house where a guy was renting rooms, paid for me for 2 months.
Yeah.
And he said, "Son, I love you, but you're on your own." That was the best thing he could have done for me.
Yeah, that's it. It sounds very similar to the advice your friend gave you. Leave this law firm and the clients will come. It's as if your father appeared obviously in a different, or his message appeared in a different skin, in a different person.
Yeah. You got to get pushed.
Yes.
Or push yourself.
Yeah. So when did you have contact with your father as a child, or did your mom just absolutely barricade you from having a relationship with him?
No, I mean, there was telephone calls. He would come and see me for my birthday from time to time. It wasn't a regular time sharing schedule like the ones we have today. It was kind of like whenever my mom would allow it type of thing.
Sure.
But yeah, I kept in contact with him over the years.
Yeah.
Right. And especially when I became an adult, I was in contact with him more.
Yeah.
Right. And then I would, in later years, I was able to establish a very tight, close relationship with him that I never really had as a kid growing up.
That is awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. So it's never too late either.
No, it's not.
It's never too late.
It's
Yeah.
not. And I tell men this because I have clients, fathers who tragically are separated from the kids for a long time.
Sure. Yeah.
Usually because the opposing party won't let them see the kids, and by the time they get to court, the kids have been poisoned against them.
Sure.
Sometimes they don't want to see him, or go. They don't want to see you, right? And it destroys the relationship. But I always tell them, I said, "Look, kids are resilient.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, there's going to be a time when that boy is going to come looking for you and reestablish the relationship. So don't worry."
That's awesome. So it's not checkmate. There's still one more move. Stay with it.
It's not. Kids are individuals. Once they turn 18, right, they see, and they see through too. They're not stupid.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
They may hear one parent saying bad things about the other parent all the time.
Yeah.
And then they go see that parent. We don't see any of that. and they say, "Wait a second. My dad's not so bad at all, or my mom's not so bad after all.
Yeah.
What's going on here?" So you think you can fool a kid by poisoning him against the other parent?
Yep.
Don't. It's not going to work.
It'll come back and bite you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that empathy you've carried, your life experiences have shaped the empathy with which you treat your clients.
And everyone.
And you not coach them, but you explain to them. The law is the easy part. It's the human dynamics, which is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're able to communicate with them in a way that others aren't because of what you went through.
I believe that to be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think it takes a life experience. It takes adverse times in your life to really understand.
Right.
And I'm not young. And so
He looks great though, doesn't he? Come on, hit the like button. He looks great.
Thank you. But I've been through a lot, and that I think they have a word for it. I think it's called wisdom. I'm not sure, but it allows you to interact with people on a level that reflects empathy and understanding.
Yes.
These are clients.
Sure.
It's a business. Don't get me wrong. I am not a nonprofit organization.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I have to treat my clients like a commodity.
Absolutely.
I mean, these people's lives are falling apart.
Right.
They're fighting for their kids. They're losing their spouse.
Yeah.
The marriage, the family, the house. Starting life over. This is not easy. This is not a lawsuit over $10,000 because somebody hit you in a car.
Exactly.
No, this is real world things, and these people need to be treated with respect and dignity.
Yeah. And they come to you not at the best time of their life. There's a vulnerability, nobody, I like to say, look, for most attorneys, they don't come to us when they're at their best. People come to us like psychologists. Something's gone wrong, drastically wrong. And that ability to empathize with them, that you don't see them as a dollar. You see them as a human. And I think that's all something very important that hopefully the people take, that when you're in business, don't see the cash sign. You're going to lose them very quickly,
Yeah.
Yep.
And it is, there's a lot of lawyers out there who are very good lawyers, don't get me wrong, but they view everything as strictly business.
Yeah.
And that's okay. If that's what you're doing. I just personally, I disagree with that approach.
I agree.
Right.
Me too.
It cannot be all about business.
Yep.
Right. You have to remember that you are literally holding these people's lives, not their lives, but everything that's important to them in life. You're holding it in your hand.
Yeah.
Right. And these people are relying upon your skill and experience as an attorney to get them through this.
Right.
Right. And that demands an empathetic relationship to them.
Big time. Yeah.
And it's hard. I will tell you, I go to bed at night thinking about my clients' cases. Other lawyers don't do that. They have rules. No. I get home. That's it.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Right.
I'm falling asleep wondering, how am I going to get this kid back for this woman? Right. Or how am I going to get this father temporary time sharing?
Yep.
And it's hard not to do that.
And it's also hard when the rulings go against you. You have to call the client and go, we didn't win.
That's what appeals are for.
There you go, which you also
And
do.
I love appeals.
Yes.
I love doing appellate work. I have lawyers refer appellate cases to me because I'm good at it. Appellate work is pure law.
Yes.
It's academic.
Right.
There's no flashy courtroom. There's no convincing a jury. There's no there's no pounding the table or objection, Your Honor.
Right.
It's pure law. It's what we learned in law school.
Right.
And it's like a chessboard.
Yeah.
There's no lies in chess.
Right.
Right. It's all on the table for you to see.
Submit your briefs. You get your oral arguments. You get your 3 judges and 9 if it's en banc. Yeah.
I once took a case to the United States Court of Appeals.
Nice.
Right. A federal one step.
11th
Supreme
Circuit.
Court. 11th Circuit. For free.
Wow.
I did this for free. I don't normally do free cases, but this was many, many years ago, and it was on behalf of a father who had moved to Ireland with his wife and kids.
Okay.
And then the wife died, and then he up and picked up the kids and came back after living in Ireland for a couple of years. The grandparents claimed to have rights.
Okay.
And so they sued him under the Hague Convention.
Wow.
And we went up we ultimately settled it.
Yeah.
After the opinion came out.
Yep.
But it was a very good experience.
Appeals is a different animal now. But so do you only do family law appeals, or do you do in general civil appeals?
If a civil appeal comes across my desk and I'm interested in taking it, I'll take it. But generally, just family.
It's just family law appeals. So you lit up when you were talking about appeals. So we're going to consider, even though you practice appeals, that's also a hobby. What other hobbies do you have? You have now, I know, now I'm setting him up. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to go peel back. We're going to go to the behind the fourth wall. We did do a little bit of talking before this, and there's he loves JFK. I love JFK. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. I think I quoted that right,
You
right?
did.
And there we go.
Very
So I'm
good.
going to hand it off to you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a little JFK. Let's have some fun.
Sure. I have a few other hobbies.
Yeah.
But one of my hobbies, I am an amateur JFK assassination researcher.
Okay.
Yeah, I spent many, many years doing this, and
You've gone to Dallas. You've
I have.
walked Go ahead. Tell us about
I've
that
been to
walk.
Dallas.
Yeah.
I've been to Dallas. I am what you would. There's 2 camps in the Kennedy side for this. They call it the lone nut theory, and that is Oswald did it all by himself.
Yep.
And that's what the government says.
Uh-huh.
And then on the other hand, there is the conspiracy theory, which says if Oswald did it,
Yep.
he couldn't have done it alone. There was others.
Sure.
Or Oswald didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I am of the opinion that Oswald did not fire any shots.
Mm-hmm.
That he was completely set up, and that there were multiple shooters.
Okay. Now, as an attorney, give us the evidence. Give us your case. Present it.
Yeah. Okay. So the Holy Grail,
Yeah.
or the way to understand, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
the JFK assassination is understanding the murder of Officer J.D. Tippit, who was shot 45 minutes later,
Right.
In another part of town.
Yeah.
Right. Officer Tippit was probably the only, if not maybe one or two officers that were not immediately called to the downtown area. And he's out driving around and does a bunch of erratic things. And then somehow just through a residential neighborhood, traveling 5 miles an hour, sees a guy walking away from him down the sidewalk prior to any meaningful description of Oswald or the shooter being put out.
Yeah.
And he sees him and he says, you know, president's just been shot. Everyone's converging on downtown. Let me pull over and just have a chat with this guy walking through this residential neighborhood. So he pulls over, starts talking to the window.
Yeah.
Oswald or whoever it was, I don't believe it was Oswald, leans over through the window and talks to him. And then the officer gets out and this person then comes around and shoots the officer dead right in the middle of the street 45 minutes later after the president has just been shot.
Yeah.
That is too coincidental for me. The problem is that multiple people saw this. A lady walking down the street, a guy, multiple people saw this.
Right.
And they give multiple times within about a 10 to 15 minute range of time.
Okay. Yeah.
If you believe some of these witnesses, there's not enough time for Oswald to have gotten there from his rooming house about a mile or so away. If you believe other witnesses, then he did have enough time.
Okay.
One of the very interesting things about that is that as the person shot a guy who was owned a mechanic shop.
Yeah.
Like down across the street and down half a block.
Right.
Walked out to the street and the shooter walked right past him. And then on his way down and made a turn. This guy was interviewed by the FBI and the Secret Service, and they showed him pictures of Oswald. He says, nope, that's not him. Right. The next day, someone breaks into his mechanic shop and shoots him in the head. And he survives, right? He survives. And then people started coming to his house and harassing him at night. And according to him, at least, someone made at least a half-hearted attempt to kidnap his young daughter, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, he testifies before the Warren Commission 6 months later, and he says, yeah, it was Oswald.
Oh, how funny how the story changes, right?
Exactly.
The inconsistent statements. And you were telling me the Warren report is not indexed.
It's not. The Warren Commission report was not indexed.
Yeah.
I mean, intentionally so. It makes it very, very difficult to navigate it. But there's a woman named Sylvia Meager in 1967 wrote a book called Accessories After the Fact. Yeah. Highly recommend the book. Yeah. And she indexed it and she laid everything out and all of the inconsistencies between the Warren Commission's findings and the testimony. You know, for instance, Oswald was seen by multiple witnesses on the first and second floor of the Dallas, Texas School Book Depository.
Right.
At the same time, the shot within a minute of the time the shots were being fired.
Right.
Right. He was seen by a police officer within 90 seconds after the shooting in the second floor lunchroom with a Coke in his hand, and he was not out of breath. But he's supposed to have run down six flights of stairs. Right?
That's right. Yeah.
There was a woman who was on the fourth floor that saw the assassination.
Yeah.
And right after the assassination, she immediately walked over to the only stairs in the building and walked down the stairs, which are wooden crickety stairs, and to go out front and see what was going on. At the exact same time, Oswald would have had to be coming down those stairs.
Right.
And she said she saw no one or heard no one. Oh. Right. And she was dismissed by the Warren Commission.
Wow.
And then you have the grassy knoll, the famous grassy knoll. Multiple witnesses who were within 50 feet of the grassy knoll heard shots from the grassy knoll, saw a puff of smoke. They're all dismissed by the Warren Commission. Senator Ralph Yarborough was in a follow-up car a few cars back. Yeah. Within 30 seconds after the assassination, his car passes right by the grassy knoll. He smells gunpowder. Yeah. Why is that important? He's a combat veteran of World War II.
So he would recognize the smell.
Gunpowder is,
yeah.
Right? It's just too much.
Right.
Yeah. If Oswald were tried today, he would be acquitted for lack of evidence against him.
Right. And you've been to the scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What is your experience in seeing that scene like?
Yeah. So the most important thing that you need to understand is that you can look at it in photographs and videos all day long.
Sure.
But when you get there, everything is much closer.
Oh,
everything is much closer. It's like it's right there.
Yeah.
All right. Like, the fence line and where Zapruder stood with taking the film, famous film that we saw.
Yeah.
Right. We're talking 10, 20 feet away. So the witnesses that were standing on the grass, like a couple and their two kids, that said the bullet came from the fence line. The fence line is literally 30 feet behind them. Okay. They didn't mistake it for a shot from down the block and 6 feet up. Yeah. It's all very, very close.
Yeah.
So the people that saw what they saw it very, very close.
Yeah. And they were dismissed.
Outright.
Yeah. They were like, nah, we don't need
even called.
Wow.
Most of them were not even called.
Really?
And then the few that were called, their testimony was manipulated, and parts of it were left out. And the young lawyer for the Warren Commission, Arlen Specter, who ultimately became a Pennsylvania
senator, yeah.
I met him at Berkeley.
No.
At an event in someone's house at Berkeley. I met him. This is before I knew anything about the assassination.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't know. He's the one that came up with the magic bullet theory.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So he would ask questions.
Yeah.
He'd ask leading questions.
Right.
Right. Leading questions.
Objection. Yeah.
Right. Or he wouldn't ask any questions at all about critical things.
Oh.
It was all pre-planned from the beginning.
Right.
Oswald did it all by himself.
Yeah.
Nobody else did it. Go back to sleep, America.
Right. And that's it. And you're done. That's it. Case closed. What's with Oswald was shot, and then didn't the dude that shot him was also shot, no? So it was like all the evidence was erased. You can't contradict us now.
Well, yeah, well, that's Jack Ruby.
There we go. That's who it was. I couldn't remember his name. It was the pizza owner, right?
And coincidentally,
Yeah.
in this little area of downtown where Officer Tippett was driving,
Yeah.
the direction he was going, and the direction this person was walking,
Uh-huh.
if you go another block and a half,
Yeah.
guess what you ran into?
Who?
Jack Ruby's apartment.
That's funny. What a coincidence, huh? Yeah. Don't look any further.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. But next time you get on an airplane, though, if TSA watch or Homeland Security watches us, they may not let you go to Dallas, okay? They just you're going to have to drive there next
Yeah,
time.
we're going to need to talk to you.
So, as we close out, David, is there anything that you really want to that you'd like to add, or that you want a message to the people that are going to be watching this? It's a lot of entrepreneurs. It's a lot of people that have just arrived here. They came from another country and they want to get started, you know. And I know you've talked about fear. Embrace it. Go do it. Failure, don't worry about it. Get going. Is there anything else that you'd like to or multiple things that you'd like to leave the people with?
Yeah, let me give you an example of a client I represented.
Sure.
Right. This guy was from Jamaica.
Okay.
He came here as a very young man. He had nothing.
Yeah.
He rode buses to multiple jobs. Right. Within 6 or 7 years, he had 3 Jamaican food restaurants.
Wow.
And he did it because he didn't let anything stand in his way.
How
He said, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Right. I'm in this country, and this country allows me to do whatever I want.
Right.
Right. And I'm going to do it. He
Yeah.
worked hard, and he never gave up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I said this before.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it. That's
Yeah.
right. Nike sponsor us. Now go
if you start a business and it fails,
Yeah.
great. You learned, pick it up,
Absolutely.
do something else.
Yeah.
You know, but just do it, because you're in business because you don't want to be paid a salary,
That's right.
right?
Yes. Yes.
So if you don't start the business,
Yep.
or pick up the pieces and start over, if you
Mhm.
fail, then just resign yourself to a salary and go back to work 9 to 5, and that's what you want to do.
Right.
Otherwise, if you're not a business owner, you know, why are you watching this?
That's right.
You know?
That's right. Yeah.
And the other thing, again, I'll repeat this again.
Yeah.
Find good people.
Yes.
Find good people.
Yeah.
Take care of them.
Absolutely. Bingo.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because if you've got a good person working for you that knows what they're doing,
Yeah.
trust me, there's other people out there that want to hire that person. And
Absolutely.
you need to make sure that they're not hired away.
Yeah.
So take care of your staff.
Right.
Good people.
Mm.
Delegate to them. It's very difficult for me to delegate. I don't have any other lawyers working with me. I'm thinking of hiring another lawyer.
Yeah.
But I tell you right now, I know it's going to be difficult for me to delegate things to them, because I want everything done a certain way, and I want to make sure that everything's being done right.
Of course.
But that's supervisory role, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delegate
Yes.
to good people. Let them run with it.
Let them do their
Let your
magic.
business thrive.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Love that, David. Thank you so much for
my
your
pleasure.
time,
Thank you for
man.
having
No,
me
this
today.
was awesome. We've been at this for almost an hour. So
Are we going to do it again?
we can do it again, man. I am here. There's a lot more that I want to go into, you know, and I hope
copy this wonderful
that's
coffee.
it. I have a cherry cola, so Coca-Cola sponsor us also. No, but folks, hang on. We got the closing argument next. Make sure you check out David Scott. Where are you located?
So
Let's get
my office is in the Weston Town Center in Weston, Western Broward County. I also have a satellite office in downtown across the street from the courthouse.
Okay.
But you can reach me at davidscottlaw.com.
Perfect. We're
Very
going to go ahead and
simple.
put that in the description and on the bar underneath.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You're just not a great lawyer. You're not just a great lawyer. You're a great human being. So thank you so much, man.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, and we will do this again. You rock, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed David Scott. Let's go ahead and let's get the closing statement going. I don't remember where I heard the story. It's not mine, like most of things, so feel free to use it and do what you will with it. There was a painting in the Louvre. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's called Checkmate. To the left, when you're staring at it, there's the devil grinning, smiling. To the right, there's a man in complete distress like this. And in the middle, there is an angel. So as the story goes, they were a group was going through the Louvre, and the tour guide is saying, well, here's the painting. It's called Checkmate. Said nothing else, and then invited the crew, the group he was with, to continue going. One person stayed behind, and when the tour guide finally realized that this individual had stayed behind, he comes back and he says, "Hey, we're over there. Do you want to come?" And the individual stares at him and he says, "You know what my profession is?" The guy goes, "No, I'm not aware of it." He goes, "I'm a world-class chess player." And that picture depicting the chessboard that you call checkmate, you guys, it's wrong. He goes, "What do you mean it's wrong?" He goes, "Listen, you're going to either have to change the name of the picture, the painting, or you're going to have to replace it." He goes, "I'm not understanding. I know, I hear you, you're a world chess player, but I don't get it. What is wrong with it?" He goes, "Well, as you guys went off to walk and I stayed back, I realized something. And I realized that the devil is grinning. The man is in distress because he thinks he's lost. However, the king has one more move. And I'm here to tell you that the king has one more move. Regardless of where you are in your life, regardless of what is going on, regardless of what is happening, there is one more move. Do not quit. Do not give up. Never lose hope. The king always has one more move. It is not checkmate. So folks, do good, be good. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.